Hi, this is Ben IVD, Fulfillment Artist, and in this video I wanted to speak about how do you find fulfillment? What is the secret to happiness in life? Because our society teaches us that happiness is being successful, being able to buy the newest Apple product, being able to acquire bigger houses, bigger cars, better places, nicer things, go to more expensive restaurants. And this is often what society depicts to us as success. It's what we read about in the news. It's what we see is this epitome of what we should look for. But is it actually fulfillment? And through the years that I've been working with people, I've noticed that there are 4 core areas that if you can master will lead you to have so much more fulfillment in your life. You're probably wondering what they are. Now, the first area is like the most important, and they had an over 75-year study just diving into what is the secret to happiness, and this was their answer. Okay, if you haven't looked at it, it's called the Grant Study, and I refer to it so many different times, but you've got to check it out because George Vaillant, the guy that led the last 2 decades of the experiment, said that $20 million and over 75 years worth of research where they followed I think it was over 400 people, like 230 plus from Harvard, and they took other people at different areas in their lives. They measured everything. And he said that the answer can be summed up in 5 words. Right? Imagine if you paid $20 million to someone and they said, all right, sure, I'll tell you fulfillment in 5 words. Because this is literally what happened. He said, happiness is love. Full stop. That's it. Happiness is love. So there are so many people in life that believe they can be single and be a monk. You know, you're fine, go sit by yourself. Okay, that's great, but you're never going to be fulfilled. Fulfillment is where you build a connection, a relationship with other people. If you look at humans from how we've evolved as a species, it's always through being connected with one another. You could never survive just by yourself because you wouldn't be able to reproduce. Right? The whole point of our society is we come together as a community and a group and building those relationships. But ultimately love, where you have a deep, passionate relationship with someone, is where that deep sense of fulfillment is going to come from. So no shallow relationships, like a really deep fulfillment with a connection with someone that you actually truly care about. So that's the first thing that's fundamental for fulfillment and happiness. Number 2. You can be in love and everything can be great, but if you don't manage this, you are effed. What I mean by this is that relationships magnify emotions. So if you're feeling shit, your relationship will magnify it, right? So the next thing that you have to master is emotions. It's your mind. It's understanding how your monkey mind works, your million-year-old brain, how it works. Why is it that you're always looking for things that are wrong? Right? You need to condition your mind so that you are looking for positive things on a consistent basis. You're grateful and abundant instead of scarce. Because the human condition is to look for things that are wrong. The human condition is to believe you're not good enough. Oh, this is unfair. Why did that person treat me like that? What did I do wrong? And it's always looking for things that are wrong because we're looking to survive. If you want to thrive and be fulfilled in your life, you have to learn to condition your mind so that you start to look at the things that you can be grateful for. You start to look at the abundance in our world as opposed to thinking that everything's a threat. And when you do that, not only will you be emotionally sound, but your relationships will soar. So emotions is of fundamental importance that you have to get right. Number 3. So you can have your emotions, you can have love, and there can be a passionate relationship. But if you're missing this, you're still going to be feeling lost. And what this is purpose, meaning. You've got to have something in your life that's worth living for. When we look into the Holocaust, one of the worst things in the world that's ever happened, and there was a man called Viktor Frankl who wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning, a fantastic book. You have to read it. And what he noticed is that suffering ceases to be suffering the moment we give it a meaning. And often when we have a meaning to our lives, when we have a purpose, when we know what we're going towards, life just becomes so much easier because you know what you're doing each day. But there's so many people that are lost. And an analogy that I'll use is most people are sitting there waiting for the most perfect opportunity to drop on their lap. right? It's never going to happen. You've got to go out there. You've got to search for it. You need to go through thick and thin and know that if you're doing that, you're heading in the right direction. Because most people are waiting for this perfect life purpose to arrive. But the truth is that the purpose and the meaning of your life will evolve as you take steps and action towards it. Because you'll clarify for yourself where you're moving, where you're going, what are you moving towards. And that will help you massively. So you've got to have that meaning and purpose in whatever shape or form that is. So those three, what I call, that's going to be these core three elements. And when I teach this in my events, what I say is that these are yellow, red, and blue. They're the primary colors. And with this, you can paint an amazing picture for your life. The fourth element is what adds depth. It gives you a deeper fulfillment from within. And this is giving. This is contributing. This is where you contribute above and beyond yourself. Because the truth is if you just focus on yourself, that's where suffering occurs. You're singing the me, me, me song. This shouldn't happen to me. Why did this happen to me? Me, 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 me. It just goes on and on and on. Instead, you will notice that when you start contributing to other people, when you start giving, you start looking towards your future and actually really enjoying yourself, what you'll see is that you will feel so much better. You'll feel so much more abundant because you're helping more people. You're doing other things for other people. And the law of reciprocity, right? It will come back. But you don't do it for the purpose of that. You do it because you know that you're giving and it's the right thing to do, right? You know that helping someone is better than not helping them. So when you can give and contribute on a scale that is meaningful to you and you can actually see the impact of your giving and you can start to really give to people, that is going to add that depth to your life. And that is really how you're going to find that deep sense of fulfillment from within. Now, there are loads of strategies to do this, right? Today, I just wanted to give you an overview. If you want to understand more, comment, ask me any questions, and I'm happy to answer them. So with that, I really hope that you have a sensational day today and that you can start to live a truly fulfilled life because it's what you so deserve. Thank you for listening. I'll speak to you soon.